he might be taking this.
All right, so we're getting into the game. Plague Scientist is a card that I just gave Crane a hard time about. I have no idea why he's put that in his deck, but the only explanation I can come up with is that he draws patches every game, so he just wants to be able to like combo activate patches with the Plague Scientist.
Good logic, subtle.
I mean, it's a good card if you don't have Dust. It's like one of the basic replacements for legendaries.
He said he doesn't like Elven Minstrel. He'd rather run Gnomish Inventor instead. I was just like, no.
He didn't.
Just no.
He didn't say
He was like, I would rather run it. Like, it's the same. Like.
Oh, I love Crane so much.
Well, I know Crane for a lot of time, and he's always, I don't know, very opinionated.
Right.
When he hates something, he really hates it, and it's very hard to change his mind.
Bit like you then.
Sorry?
Bit like you then.
Yeah.
Hunter versus Rogue, though. Candle Shot is huge in this matchup, right? It's one of the things that's really like helped Hunter be playable again. Now people have got away from, you know, just playing 30 spells in your deck. Like Candle Shot and early minions can actually like win a lot of these matchups against like Tempo Rogue and Zoo.
Be playable again.
Be playable again? Yeah, sure. How good do you guys think Hunter is, though? Do you think it's actually going to stick around? Because I feel like we see a little bit of Hunter at the start of every expansion, right? And then it's gone away for like the last 3 straight after
Because
that.
the cards they release for Hunter are usually like kind of strange. Like they're a bit weird, a bit wacky, as RDU would say. So people want to experiment with it. So I'm not sure if it's going to stay around, but I don't know. The deck doesn't seem like terrible, so yeah, I think it will stick around for a bit.
Okay.
This deck needs to still be refined, in my opinion. I think there are some ways to approach this deck that haven't been tried yet.
Go on.
Elaborate.
I like the idea of Spireful Summoner in Call of the Wild, but I don't really like the Archivist.
Okay.
At the same time, I think this deck might use a Spellbreaker, and I'm not sure if 2-candle weapons are optimal, because you often want to play the bow, and it's a very bad top deck. So if you play only 1 candle shot and you always keep it, I think that's like a better way of building and playing the deck.
Okay.
Yeah, you were playing it earlier this morning at like 1 AM, weren't you? And you just kept losing like constantly with Hunter.
I've been playing this deck for the past
and it was NA as well,
days.
Which makes it worse.
I've been playing this deck for the past few days on ladder because it's very fast and you don't really need much thinking, and it's a good deck to grind. So if you want to just rank up while you're watching SeatStory, that's the deck you want to play.
Yeah. And then he switched to Priest, and he just couldn't draw Razor and Anduin on 5 or 8.
Yeah, I'm not that good.
Yeah.
Woe is Radu. How do you feel about the way Xixo made these trades? Because he put a lot of power into one 5/4 that could and did just end up getting Vile Spine.
You had the 4/3 as well, right?
I think it's fine. Yeah, he distributed the resources pretty neatly. Now you just ignore that, go face. Yeah, I like the way Xixo is min-maxing this.
Any reason to hit face for 1 with the weapon there? Set up draws of like Eagle Horn Bow, like you're talking about?
He has Houndmaster Hero Power, right?
Yeah,
like
I think.
Worst case. So.
I think he wants to go for that next turn.
Okay.
Yeah, Crane needs to play the Saronite, but.
I mean, the Hunter hasn't really done anything like incredible, but just look at the state of the game right now. They just played cards and hit him where it hurts, and yeah.
That's one of the good things about Hunter. I think he's pretty good against Rogue.
This Rogue specifically, or just in general?
Just Rogue specifically.
Yeah.
Even better against lower Rogues like Miracle or the Cold Light Mill Rogue.
Is that a good draw, Radu?
Yeah, it's a very good draw on
Give me some
26.
analysis on that.
Well,
we have to see the 9 drop first, right? Then we can tell you whether it's a good draw.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1. No, come on.
Terrible timing, George. Come on. You've got to work on that. You won't be invited back.
Oh, close.
You might go face now.
Hmm? Yeah. At the Shadow Step? No.
Nope.
And he's dead.
Yeah, it's a very powerful deck if it curves out. It's basically Beast Hunter with Pirates, and instead of Savannah High main, you play the Spiteful Summoner. You hope you run the Call of the Wild, and then you just like put too much.
Do you know what this whole Spiteful Summoner thing reminds me of? Is like when Zoo started to transition away from just being like super consistent, like 80% of your deck costs like 1 to 3. And then they started playing like, you know, originally it was like Voidcaller Mal'Ganis, then people started playing Dr. Boom, now obviously people are playing like Bone Mares and Gul'dan. So it's just like, you're forgoing just that little bit of early game consistency just to have insane power spikes somewhere later on, right?
Yeah, you play a lot of early game, and then you just want to curve out. You need to find the right ratio, the right balance of early game, and then thing that follows the early game. And if you already control the board, you just translate it into winning the game.
Is Xixo going to keep his namesake? Yeah, he is. Yeah,
Obviously.
Yeah.
He's played Hearthstone before.
He is
Yeah.
the corridor creep. Literally and figuratively.
Corridor Creeper is also a beast, which if you play Thunder Rhino in this deck, you can just charge them for 5.
He does play Tundra Rhino in this deck.
And he
A
might charge
beast
them
in
for
what
5.
context?
A beast in the context of Hearthstone.
Yeah. I think I would say argue both as well. The card is pretty beast, right?
It's a beast in a figurative context
Yeah,
as well.
Exactly.
I don't know if I like the Cobble Scalebane that much in this deck. It's not really doing anything specifically.
I guess it's reasonable against Priest if he decides to leave Priest up, right? That's like really fringe kind of argument.
You could play Bear Shark, which he might still play anyways.
I
he
think
does
we've
play
seen
one.
it.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
we've
yeah.
seen it, yeah.
In the Mulligan.
And isn't Bear Shark just enough to beat Priest? I think it is. Don't know if you need a Cobble Scalebane. Also, like, half of your games you're gonna be on the coin, and on the coin you wanna play the Spireful Summoner on 5.
Right.
That's a bit optimistic, though. And talking about Spireful Summoner, it's such a bad card if you draw both Call of the Wilds. Like, it's a
Yeah.
high risk, high reward kind of situation, deck building wise.
Yeah, it's a little more consistent in like Priest because you have 4 huge spells.
Yeah.
But then the downside of that is that you actually draw one of those huge spells more often, right? Like one
Yeah.
or two of them, and they just clog up your hand. So yeah,
That top deck.
it's a real hard to package to figure out. What were you saying, George?
That top deck.
The Wrath.
Yeah, now we can full clear and develop a 2/2 Jade, yeah, into Behemoth. It's pretty decent.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
It might be enough to stabilize, right?
He's going to be facing a 4/4 and a 9 drop next
He's going to be
turn.
facing a 4/4 and King Crush that's about to smack him in the head.
Wait, wasn't it better to just trade Armenian and play Blossom? This way he keeps the 4/4, but he doesn't curve out optimally.
Maybe this is better because if you look at it,
I mean, you
like,
use
you can
both
just
your
Behemoth
spell
Curve out
stones.
next turn.
So he's thinking Scalebane or Coin Spiteful this turn, right? If it's Scalebane, he gets to Hero Power Jade Behemoth next turn, and that's actually a pretty sick turn. But the way he did it.
King Crush, please.
Yeah, but he would have still have the spell stones.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
I think it was just too much that Crane
There's
used.
too many resources, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Just double Wrath Blossoms clean as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. Way more clean.
Clean as a whistle.
Sorry. George C just amuses me, guys. I apologize.
High school humor.
High school humor. I think even high school humor would be like inappropriate for this stream.
Anyway, George doesn't go to big school for at least another 3 years. What are you talking about?
Big school, dude. I'm in like 6th form in the UK, which is like I don't even know. It's just like college, isn't it?
This game looks pretty much over, to be honest.
Oh, I was enjoying that awkward silence, Ratu.
Sorry, Soto.
So you just play both of the dudes, right? Like,
Yes.
I mean, I don't think even killing the scale is it necessary?
I don't
think
know.
so. I would rather have a 3/3 and a 2/2 and let him trade the 5/5
Like-
into 4/4 and hero power next turn.
What is the way Crane can come back? Ultimate Infestation. So then you just like maybe ignore the Scalebane and hope you draw UI and then UI the Scalebane.
Or if the Scalebane trades into the 4/4, then you can hero power down, and if it trades into the 3/3, you can use a 2/2 to kill it. Something like that.
That also works, I guess.
Yeah. I would have just played it.
Wait, he
just
doesn't even wait for the draw. That's like classic Crane.
This is 100% peak Crane right now. I don't know if you guys saw the clip from the B stream where he literally just conceded a game by closing Hearthstone and walking off. But like, apparently, like he was saying, like the concede meta, it's important that you do that because it's actually the quickest way to concede, right? You just click the X in the top right, whereas bottom right concede is 2 different actions.
The concede meta.
The concede meta.
But
yeah.
I don't think the game ends. Like your opponent is going to see a rope and then.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. So it used to end, but now that they've added the reconnect feature for friendly challenges, the game doesn't end anymore. So Crane's saying he now has to reevaluate the concede meta and come up with the most efficient way to concede.
Speak of the
again.
devil, there's the bear shark. Should be pretty good against Priest.
Crane probably kept Priest for last because it's his best class against Xixo. But with 3 shots, I think Xixo is going to probably win this. But then again, it's Highlander Priest.
Death is an interesting one.
Playing the Visions on 2?
Just
Or picking the death?
Yeah,
okay. I mean, maybe he's...
I would have tended towards Pain, probably.
Right. I was kind of thinking the same thing.
He's afraid of big stuff.
I guess he's thinking long term, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's thinking like he's in a decent spot in the matchup, and he's only going to lose to like massive high rolls. So
But he just drew like the best turn 3 to contest what Xixo has, and if he hadn't got that,
Yeah.
Xixo had gone coin captain, and he'd just like done nothing.
Right.
Then like turn 4 play Priest of the Feast or something, like it's not that great.
So he's not trading into this. Why? Because he wants to Houndmaster next turn?
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Because he's only playing next turn, really. Like, playing a Diamol or whatever it is, hero powering, it's not great. I mean, if he draws another card that he can play the Diamol with the Houndmaster on 5, and then play that boy on turn 6 and get King Crush.
The absolute boy. Spiteful Summoner.
It's just... I don't even know what it is about that card. It just makes me cringe. Like, on ladder when priests play it and get like a 10 draw. It's like, come on.
It's alright, you make everyone else cringe, George, so it works both ways.
Crane had no way there to kill the Bear Shark. Because even if he steals the patches, it's only a 1-1 on your side of the board.
This 3-6 contests reasonably well, but the fact that he has Houndmaster now completely screws that.
Yeah, I think Xixo is just gonna double trade.
Yeah.
You have to kill the Priest of the Feast. It's too dangerous of a minion.
If you hit face, like, Crane just plays basically one spell and then just basically heals for half of what you just dealt.
Yeah.
Crane needs Ocean Eye.
Is it Alkanai or...?
However it's pronounced, I don't know.
Right.
You tell me, George.
I have no idea, but I'm just, throwing it out there.
It's Orkanai or Alkanai. People say either way. It's definitely not what Radu said.
Orchnai.
Yeah.
Alkanai.
You were a bit drunk last night, weren't you, when you were making like British impressions, like
What?
trying to imitate British accents?
Radu has the worst British
Yeah,
accent
he
I've
does.
ever.
No, I don't have the worst
Go
British
on,
accent.
go on.
Go on, do it.
Throw us a word.
Do it.
I'm not gonna do it.
Not want to get bullied.
Not on demand.
on demand.
Getting bullied by the British casters.
Oh, there it is.
Radu the God.
I mean, I just called the only out he had.
Dragonfire as well was like reasonable, right?
And Xixo having to
Okay.
use up his Candle Shot is actually super clutch here as well. Because if he still had a charge of Candle Shot, he could have just
Oh, look
slapped
at that.
and played
Woo!
Spiteful. Oh, never mind.
Feels bad, man. That's happened twice to Xixo.
Yeah.
But this shows the downside of this card. Like, sure, it's quite unlucky for him to draw both Call of the Wilds, considering basically you never keep it. But it just shows, like, this card completely depends on these two spells, and if you draw both of them well, it's a 6-mana 4/4, like...
Right.
Thanks for the analysis, Georgie.
Yeah. Like,
We wouldn't have figured that out on ourselves.
you have two patches in your deck, right? And you can't, instead of not being able to draw one of them before like turn 1, 2, or 3, whenever you're summoning your patches, you have to not draw 2 before turn 6 or 8, which is kind of statistically about the same thing, right?
Somebody should run the math on this.
Yeah.
By the way, Xixo seemed a bit tilted. Even though he's 2-0 up. I don't know. Like, you cannot have it work every single time for you. You cannot expect to have Spyful on 5 and 6 every single game and
you can.
win every single game.
This is interesting now, because he kind of wants to keep the potion for Call of the Wild, right? But also doing it now is pretty good with the Acolyte. The fact that he also gets the minions as well probably compensates.
I mean, Crane
For it.
knows Xixo's hand. He
Yeah,
knows
he knows
Xixo
double-
has double call.
Yeah.
And probably a dead card. Like, not dead, but probably not one.
But also,
worth playing.
his minion pool was insane there, right? He had Orkanai, Tar Creeper, and Priest of the Feast all
Yeah.
in there. So
So
Yeah.
that's why it compensated for not dealing 4
Right.
the Call of the Wild turn, right?
Mhm.
So his Death's going to come in handy, right? Like, you just ping your an Acolyte and, like, Death it, probably.
Mm-hmm.
You'd agree with that, Radu?
Yeah. Mm-hmm means agreement.
All right, okay.
I regret my choices. Can I have 2 other casters, please?
Ooh.
Venom Mind Blast, Holy Smite should be lethal next turn, even for the call. You can actually steal the Leok to buff your minions up. You can make Okenai.
Is that lethal, right? No, because he can't go through the taunt, but if the taunt didn't exist...
Yeah, but you can still
He
Leok
didn't kill it.
and make Okenai kill
If he just didn't
Misha.
attack with the Huffer and the Misha just didn't get taunt, then he would have had lethal. But
If Hearthstone cards worked entirely differently than they do, he would have had lethal.
that's like something Raven would say, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it is. Good save, by the way.
He's corrupted me.
fall back onto bullying Raven.
Bullying Raven. There's nothing more I enjoy.
That Potion of Madness is an insane answer to
Yeah.
that board state, though.
Wouldn't you just play Velen here?
No. You just keep it for next time because
Yeah,
it's lethal
sure.
from hand.
But then you win because he's got to play Call anyway, so it's like, it's just more mana efficient.
Sure. If you have OCD, maybe it helps, but
OCD.
I don't think Crane minds winning with a little bit more mana.
I detect a little bit of salt.
No, no salt.
No salt. Salt free today, right?
Yeah,
You done?
I'm very sweet.
Good. No, okay, apparently not. Keep going. That's fine. Just keep bickering.
Yeah, this priest has a pretty decent chance of sweeping, right? Like, yeah, it's priest.
Well,
So-
this is what Radu was saying earlier, right? Which is because all three decks do very similar things, your potential to get swept by one deck that counters that kind of thing is very high.
Yeah.
And you have to ban Warlock, but Priest is actually also pretty solid at just shutting down board development decks, right?
Yeah.
Who wins the Dragon Priest versus Rasa Priest?
I think Raza Priest is slightly favored, but
Yeah,
I
I
might
do
be
too.
wrong.
I played like the Divine Spirit in a Fire build against Raza Priest a lot, and Raza Priest felt favored in that to me. But obviously Xixo isn't running that; he's running the Spiteful Summoner stuff instead. So
Xixo said he's just going to hit him in the face when we were talking downstairs. So.
Okay.
Deep strategy.
Yeah.
Very complex.
Too complex for you, Radu.
Yeah, I don't understand this notion.
Yeah. Nor do I.
Xixo is on an entirely other level.
Yeah. He's broken space-time. So yeah, you don't play the 1-3 because of the card draw off the Cleric.
Yeah.
now
Yeah,
Xixo is
Dustbreaker
pretty much
4.
just AFK until Duskbreaker. though.
Yeah, pretty much. Dustbreaker does do work in this matchup, right? Like if they play Acolytes and stuff, like it's
Yeah.
not bad by any stretch of the imagination.
But that's the thing.
Oh.
It takes you a lot of time to go on board. What, he only has one mind control or what?
No, he has two. He has two.
Oh, so he has
But
two mind
he's
controls.
getting there.
Okay, okay. It would be hilarious if he does all the expensive spells before he does Spiteful again.
Yeah.
So what? Turn 4 he draws the other free from Amber. Turn 5 he draws the other mind control, and turn 6 he draws the Summoner.
Yeah.
Like full PTSD right there.
So is Crane just going to take his card here because he knows there's quite likely a Duskbreaker in his future?
Yeah.
Looks like it.
I mean, that's the thing with the Highlander Priest. They have a lot of time to get their answers. And then when Dragon Priest goes on board, Highlander just removes the board. And then it goes for this back and forth for a little bit until Highlander just draws Raza Anduin and then translates that into winning the game.
Dustbreaker getting pretty decent value though.
As you expect, it's a very powerful card.
Yeah. Really, Radu? Didn't know.
You guys are the worst.
I love Radu, really. We're just, you know. But yeah, picking the Def again, pretty intelligent in this matchup. Like, the Operative is a pretty big problem. Like, Anduin clears it, like, obviously, but the fact that he's a dragon, like, Dragonfire Potion doesn't really do anything, does it, to it?
Right.
Apart from Scream and Death, and Anduin, like, it's pretty problematic, so taking the Death is probably correct.
And then again, like in Xixo's deck, there's Bone Mares that aren't usually being played. There's
Yeah.
Free from Amber that isn't usually being played.
So
So
Death's pretty
yeah.
up there with what you want.
you're going to death some stuff.
Like, arguably Scream's probably better.
yeah,
but
sure.
He didn't get the option to pick Scream, so second best Death. There is...
Why is he
the
playing it
Corridor
in this
Creeper.
deck, though?
Corridor Creeper?
Yeah, I don't know if it works in this deck.
Because it's a Hearthstone deck.
You put it
Come
in.
on.
You put it in every deck. I'm gonna put it in Freeze Mage and get this
I was literally talking about that yesterday.
I think this went a bit too far with the Corridor Creeper every deck. It's exactly like when Mean Streets came out and people were trying to put patches and some other pirate into every single deck.
Yeah, like what was it? Reno Warlock or something? With,
Oh,
like,
the
patches and stuff,
Bloodsail,
yeah.
Corsair, Reno, yeah.
Yeah, it was like Life Coach and Super JJ. They were like putting the pirates into the Reno Warlock.
Oh, what do they know? They're Gwent players.
Yeah.
Just gonna cycle the host, right?
Yeah, this auctioneer could be quite a big problem for Xixo looking at his hand, right?
Yeah.
Like, he needs an answer now.
He doesn't have answers, right? Like, they're just not in the deck. He doesn't
Yeah, he
play
doesn't play
spells that can answer this.
Why is that they're not playing Psychic Scream? It's a 7-mana spell after all.
Because you Grand Archivist it, and then you Psychic Scream your own board.
Why would you play the Grand Archivist?
Because you can get out the
Okay,
Freak
actually,
Ambers,
in
Mind
the-
Control.
In this deck, Grand Archivist is probably good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good in the Hunter deck.
I agree. I was saying that
It's a bit
earlier
too
as
slow,
well.
right? Like, you want to
Not only, like, you don't want to, like, remove the Call of the Wild from your deck, you also don't get the charge on Halfer. But here, Mind Control and Free From Amber are actually good picks.
Yeah.
So what do we do here? Powered Shield, Dragonfire doesn't full clear because Xixo has a dragon, so...
But you can trade afterwards. Or you can just ignore it and go face.
Yeah.
Force him to trade. That kind of works.
I mean, if he can find
Or we could have
something
another
like-
bone there, right?
That's
and he could
true.
take a trade. So he'd probably want to trade.
I mean,
kind of
what he
awkward.
really wants to do is find a clear that keeps his Auctioneer alive.
Wait. You said that you want to trade because of Bone Mare, right? I don't know if that's true. Like, if your opponent Bone Mares, he still has to trade himself.
And you can play the Lifesteal card, the Spirit Lash. Yeah, sure. Then he has a 5/4. Things get a bit messy.
Yeah, but he's gonna have it at some point or another anyways. You already saw on Bone Mare, you don't play around the second one.
So I like Pain Death trade here more than I like Dragonfire.
Yeah.
Just because he couldn't kill your Auctioneer last turn, how does he kill your Auctioneer from next turn?
Yeah, this looks good.
We start with the Pain, obviously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's Braza. Do you also want to play the Binding Heal? Why not, right?
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah, it seems fine.
Yeah, it's a very powerful turn.
Get closer to that interactive 8-mana card.
He's not burning, right? That's 9.
No.
How many cards does he have left? 9. So he's going to get pretty close soon. Once he gets Anduin, things get crazy.
He free from Amber to Grand Archivist!
Mind Control. Yeah,
Wow.
this card's bad, Radu, isn't it?
That is why you play that card.
But like,
I
it's
didn't
really
say,
the end
I
of
didn't
the
say it's
world.
bad. I
It's
was
not
just
necessarily the end of the world. Like, Xixo can only replay, one spell a
Right.
turn. So, like, I wouldn't be too worried about it. It's just this 4/7 is going to have repeat effects potentially in Crane's mind. So he might want to get rid of that pretty soon.
Yeah.
But how do you do that?
Yeah, but like, he might want to try to, but he can't with his current hand. So what are we thinking? Yeah, something like this. I was either thinking Raz Acolyte or Razik plus the Glimmer Room. This gets you closer to Anduin, right? And your Scream and stuff like that.
Oh, that is so perfect. There's one Amber left, right? So this is the last turn that Spiteful Summoner does anything?
Yeah.
That's insane.
So you just do it now and you could basically get double effect.
Yeah,
right?
so the Spiteful hits the Amber, and then the Archivist hits the Amber and consumes it, so it's not there anymore. That was the best draw in the deck by a large margin. Oh my god.
That's a pretty good minion.
That's kind of like King Crush, wouldn't you say?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit less stats, but it'll do.
We say that's reasonable.
Yeah, extremely reasonable.
Yeah.
But he traded, so it's not honorable.
He didn't play the Cleric first. Was it like intentional? Maybe because he doesn't want to draw the Amber, so he can cast it to the Archivist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that does make sense.
But he played it
actually.
very fast. I'm not sure if he did take that into account.
It does make sense when you think about it.
I mean, there are reasons to also keep to draw Amber, sorry, because you don't want to overextend into an Anduin.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. You're going to see Crane trade, not get Anduin, and just get up and leave.
Yeah. He's not even on 10. He can't take an extra draw from Spirit Lash first.
Yeah. I mean, he can like Spirit Lash and then trade and then get the Scream, right? Or something like that.
Sure.
And what are the odds of him getting that? You get 2 cards.
It's pretty likely.
It's like, what, 2/7? Does it work like that? Or is it 1/7?
It's 1 out of
Times
7, and then it's like
1/7.
1 out of 6.
Yeah, so it's what, 1 in...
I mean, the correct way to do it is calculating permutations, and there's quite a bit of them. Like, what's the chance that it's not in the first 2 cards, is the way you calculate it.
5/7?
I think it's a more complex formula than that.
We'll just presume it's around that number.
Ask your teacher, George.
I know 5/7 is like 71.4285714% or something like that.
He is going to Spirit Lash first, though, so he is taking his Psychic Scream out, which I think this is the higher percentage play.
Wish we could see Crane's face right now.
Can you not? He's right there.
I know, but the camera's obscuring it
Ah,
sometimes. Like, this isn't the end of the world. Like, he only takes like 17, right?
yeah.
Like, I say only, but like, you know, he can take 17.
That's a good draw. It doesn't do anything, but it's just a 4/7 that sticks through Anduin right now.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to maybe play that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to presume he's going to get the Scream eventually, right? And then you want to play... Actually, yeah, you want to play it kind of after the Scream, right? To play around Anduin.
The question is, how does Crane win even if he draws Scream and then Anduin? He used the Radiant Elemental, so you don't have that much fuel for Velen.
Yeah, he used Smite as well. He's used Circle Appealing, he's used
You can
Silence.
still do 20 with Velen, right? Like...
Yeah, Velen Mind Blast is 20. And then you can play like a 1-mana card and that's 24. But you still need to put him at 24. And to click the board and to not die in the meantime. So I don't
think
know.
he's used all the 1-mana cards, right? Like, he used the Binding Heal as well. He's used the Power Word Shield.
Yeah,
You have Kazakus, which gives you 1 mana to
That's
deal
true.
6, and then you can just OTK, right?
Okay, yeah.
There you go.
That's the OTK.
George sees the lines.
Sees the lines. I mean, Xixo has a very impressive hand, but like if Crane draws what he needs like, right now, like Scream into Anduin, you can see things, you know.
He needs
The value
Scream
of this hand is
into
irrelevant.
Anduin, into Kazakus, into 1-mana Potion that gives him free damage,
Wah, wah.
into time to playing all of those, and I don't think that's gonna happen.
Wah wah.
Kazakus into Exodia? No, it
Kazakus
doesn't.
into Exodia. What are you talking about?
This is not working.
There's no 5, right? Like, he doesn't even kill enough minions for freeze to keep
But
you
no
alive.
one's been ever able to summon him. Exodia. You're just not role player enough, are you?
Does he have minion res that keeps him alive? No. Gain armor doesn't keep him alive. No, I didn't see
It's
it.
like nothing, right?
He's
like
dead.
he can't even draw the Scream. There's like no way he can proc his card draw.
Right.
Like yes, he can proc them, but he won't be able to play anything that he draws. That's of importance in this situation.
Wait, Glimmerroot for something in Xixo's deck? Does that ever work?
No, he doesn't run Scream.
Yeah. Well, GG.